what would I recommend if you were to choose one of these as your car tool, your sort of emergency car tool? Which one would I recommend that you get? That's really tough to say. Hello my friends, Late Boy Scout here, and this is the Leatherman Super Tool 300 versus the Leatherman Surge. Now, I classify both of these tools, these heavy-duty Leatherman multi-tools, as car tools. Pretty much relegated to that, okay? I don't consider them backpacking tools. Some of you might choose them for that. I don't consider them tactical tools. Some of you might choose them for that. I look at them as tools that will sit in your car and stay there until an emergency comes up. Why? Why would I classify them as that? Mainly because of their weight. 12.5 ounces for the Surge, 9.6 ounces for the Super Tool 300. So, you know, the weight there is just, it's not something I want to put on my belt. It's not something I want to put in my backpack. So they're kind of relegated to car tools. Now, you might be saying, look, it's your car. You've got room for real tools. Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. It depends on who you are and what you do and what size your car is. If you don't have the room for real tools, like full-size tools, maybe you can't afford a big set of real tools. Maybe you don't know how to use them anyway. In that case, you want to have something that will give you some capabilities, but not weigh you down. Okay, and in that case, a good multi-tool like the Surge or the 300, the Super Tool 300, will be a good car tool. Okay, that's it's going to cover most bases and help you out in a lot of emergencies, a lot of situations. So let's compare these two tools. Let's compare first the Plier Heads. Very similar in size. However, the Surge obviously is one piece and a little less robust than the Super Tool 300 because of that, these little flare outs here that give it a little more beef. And also the 154 cm removable wire cutters. That's really cool. You can take those out and buy new ones and replace them if you ever needed to. Super, super cool. They're not super sharp, by the way. If any of you were looking at those and wondering if they were like razor sharp, they are not. Okay, they're wire cutter sharp. That's it. And when they dull, when they chip, whatever, from whatever you've been cutting, go and buy yourself some new ones. They probably won't be covered under warranty. In fact, I would say that they won't be. You're just going to need to go on Leatherman's website, leatherman.com, and shop for those. You can buy little parts and you can buy those and replace it. Nothing like that on the Surge, okay? It's just one solid piece on each side. And so if you damage those, that's going to be a problem. You might have to send it back in and take advantage of Leatherman's 25-year warranty, which they may honor, they may not. It's always up to them. Generally, they do. They pretty much always do, and kind of don't ask questions. So that's really cool. So the pliers, yeah, very, very similar in effectiveness and in just general size. I think that they'll get the same kind of detail work done there with those tips. Yeah, either one is acceptable, I'd say, but I would rather have these. Let's move on to some of the, well, I guess let's move on to some of the inside accessible tools, such as on the Surge, we've got a nice big fat flathead there, a nice eyeglass screwdriver. What's that doing there? I don't know. One of these sort of drilling tools for leather and whatnot, and then a little sewing thing going on there. Okay, that's what we've got on that side. And then on this side, we've got a nice can opener. I like their can opener design. And a bit driver, okay, which flips over from Phillips to flathead. Okay, and that's your sort of medium-sized flathead. You got the same thing on the Wave. There it is right there. The exact same tool. And, you know, the same can opener as well on the Wave. But this isn't about the Wave. Then let's move to the outside accessible tools, where we have, get that closed if we can, where we have the standard blade. I really like the shape of that, by the way. Almost identical, well, basically identical to that of the Wave, which is right here. Just a little bigger is all. But the blade shape is pretty much identical. And I like that blade shape, as I mentioned. It's got an adequate belly. I like the size of it. Nice point to it. Nice sort of drop point, almost clip point. I don't know what you call that. Whatever the case, it's a good blade shape. Onto a nice serrated blade. Also very good. And I've mentioned this before, that they give you a little bit of a, almost look a jimping-like kind of thing to let you know that that's the serrated blade on that side. Then you move to a saw, which can also pop out. You can open this up and take that saw out and replace it instead with a file, which will be both a wood file / metal file, and I think a diamond file on the other side, if I'm not mistaken. Then you've got, but of course you got to keep that with you if you're going to use it. You know, if you're going to use those different that file in place of the saw, you got to find some way to carry all that with you. Now, that's not too hard if you got a nice pouch like this one, you know, that Leatherman sells. I might even have that in here if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there it is. There's a replacement saw and file. There's the saw, there's the file, and I was right. There's the diamond side, and there's the regular side. Okay, so just slip that into your pouch, and you've got that available to you in case you need it. And we'll stick that in the pouch later, whatever. On to the next tool, which is the scissors, and you need to engage the lock in order to be able to use those. They don't really, you know, open and close correctly if you don't engage that lock first. And these are nice, tough scissors. Check out my video, Leatherman Scissors Compared, Multi-Tools Making the Cut, to see how these stack up to some of the other scissors that Leatherman makes for their other tools. They did pretty well. Okay, so that's the complement of tools. On the Surge, inside and outside, what do we have on the Super Tool? Well, we got a nice blade. It's different in blade shape from the other one, but still good. Then we've got, let's see here, a complement of screwdrivers. These are going to be a little bit harder to get out because they sort of come out sympathetically. Yeah, sort of a fat, medium. Then we've got that same sort of drilling thing with the eye. And then we've got a file that does not have a diamond file on it. I'd really like to have a diamond file, but this is more like a wood / metal file. Also kind of cool and useful in a lot of situations, but I prefer that diamond file if I can get it. It's just good for sharpening, you know, if you have something you need to sharpen. There's a good sheep's foot rescue blade on there. You've got your can opener. I think it's the identical can opener that the Surge had. I really like that long shaft on that Phillips head screwdriver and sort of the smaller flathead there, but that's just really cool. I like that a lot. And then you've got a nice saw. Okay, so what are we missing on the Super Tool that the Surge has got? Well, it's got those scissors. What else? That eyeglass screwdriver down there. Okay, anything else that we really care about? Not a lot that I'm concerned about. The diamond file, I guess, there's that. I like the diamond file. So, what would I recommend if you were to choose one of these as your car tool, your sort of emergency car tool? Which one would I recommend that you get? That's really tough to say. This one's less money at 50 to 60, well, $60-ish. The Surge is a fair bit more than that, probably 80-ish. And again, a lot of weight, more so than this one. But then again, it's going to be in your car, so weight is maybe not so much of an issue. With that in mind, if price is not too much of a concern for you, I'd probably say go with the Surge as your car tool. The outside accessible tools are very nice. Better complement of tools, in my opinion. Hopefully the 154 cm replaceable wire cutters won't be needed for whatever you're doing, because that's the only thing you really give up by choosing the Surge over the Super Tool. You know, one day they'll make the perfect tool that's got everything that I would like to have. In the meantime, you're going to have to make choices. And if you're trying to choose between the Super Tool 300 and the Leatherman Surge, well, that's what I've got for you. I think I would probably go with the Surge over the Super Tool, but it's a very, very, very tight race, and it's by a very slim margin. I hope that helped you out a little bit. I'm the Late Boy Scout, comparing the Super Tool 300 against the Leatherman Surge. I'll see you guys later.